to order, please. If you will, we have no business under administrative today. You have been submitted, first, please call the roll.
Banks.
Here.
Chambers. Foster. Phillips. Pierce. White. Chairman Clifton.
Here.
And Commissioner Wallace, absent.
Do I hear a motion?
Move to excuse those not present.
Motion made and seconded to approve those commissioners not present. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We have no administrative business today, so we will move right into the approval of the minutes. You have been submitted a copy of the minutes of the previous meetings. Are there any additions or corrections?
Move for approval.
Motion made and seconded. Minutes be approved as submitted. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Under Planning Commission hearings, if you are here for the special use case number 2023-38 for a continuation of a type 2 short-term rental in an R1 zone at 4900 Hickory Avenue, that item has been postponed and will not be heard today. So if you're here for that, it will not be heard, but you're welcome to stay with us. Mr. White?
Postpone these because of time deadline on these short-term rentals.
It was more about getting the applications filed by the deadline, and the applicant's stand-in's mother is in the hospital.
Okay, so it's okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, first item on the agenda, special use case 2023-26 to allow a continuation of a type 2 short-term rental in an R1 zone at 105 Wisteria Drive. Is the applicant here?
Yes.
Please come up and give us your name for the record, please.
My name is LaRon Pitts.
Sorry.
LaRon Pitts.
Okay, Mr. Pitt. Have you been supplied a copy of the comments from the Planning Commission for some proposed conditions for this?
Yes.
Do you agree with all those?
Yes, sir.
Is this one that has been operating and has came in under a non-conforming use?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application as presented, please call the roll.
Banks.
Yes.
Chambers.
Yes.
Phillips. Yes. Pierce. Yes. Wallace. White.
Yes.
And Chairman Clifton.
Yes, your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer and he can tell you where to go next.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Item
after-
number
Call me tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Item number 2, 2023-33, a special use to allow continuation of a type 2 short-term rental in an R1 zone at 5006 Lock Ridge Road. Is the applicant here? Yes, ma'am. Please come up and give us your name for the record, please.
Karen Four.
Okay, Ms. Ford, have you received a copy of the comments from the site plan review, or from the
Yes, sir.
committee? Yes, ma'am. Do you agree with those?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application as presented, please call the roll.
Banks.
Yes.
Chambers.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Pierce.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
And Chairman Clifton.
Yes, your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer and he can tell you what to do. Thank you. Next item is item number 3, special case 2023-34 to allow a type 2 short-term rental in an R1 zone at 6705 Pontiac Drive. That's you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any comments from anyone in the audience on this application? Mr. White?
again, Mr. Spencer or Donna, can you own more than one?
Yes, you can't,
How many can you own?
don't think that the ordinance set a limit on the number that you could own.
Or within 1,500 feet, I think is.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm just curious on the ruling.
Okay. Any other comments from anyone in the audience on this application?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chambers?
I think you failed to ask the applicant if she agreed to the conditions of the design review committee. That's for the record.
Yes, ma'am. You do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other comments? On the application, please call the roll.
Banks?
Yes.
Chambers?
Yes.
Phillips? Yes. Pierce?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
And Chairman Clifton?
Yes. The application was approved. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to do next. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is 2023-36 to allow a continuation of a Type 2 short-term rental in an R2 zone at 7 Longview Road. Is the applicant here? Ma'am, give us your name for the record, please.
I'm Hattie Tyler.
Ma'am? And have you been presented a copy of the recommendations from the Design Review Committee?
Yes, sir.
And do you agree with those?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application as presented, please call the roll.
Banks?
Yes.
Chambers?
Yes.
Phillips? Yes. Pierce?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
And Chairman Clifton?
Yes. Your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer, he can tell you what to do next. Thank you. Item 5 has been postponed at 4900 Hickory Avenue. Item number 6 is a conditional use, 2023-12, to allow an auto sale in a C4 zone at 4620 MacArthur Drive. Is the applicant here? Give us your name for the record, please.
Jeremy Perone.
Have you been given a summary of the Design Review Committee recommendations?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with all those?
The number 4 saying take the fence down, I was gonna see if we could keep the fence up.
Mr. Chambers?
Yes, sir. We require it. We're only recommending to the city council. The city council is the one, if I've got that right. The city council would be the one that would grant you permission to do that.
So what are we supposed to do from here? I'm sorry.
Well,
What we do is we would require this, and if you go to your alderman to see if you can get a sponsor to sponsor the ordinance for the car lot, then you might ask him also if he would be willing to sponsor the ordinance less number 4 on here. If he is agreeable to that and they take it to the city council and the city council okays it, that would be omitted. If not, it would be included.
Okay.
Okay? Any comments from anyone in the audience? Mr. Chambers?
I just want to add that it may also be a case where you negotiate with, if the alderman's totally opposed to the fence and won't sponsor an amendment, it may be something you can negotiate with him for an alternative kind of fence or something like that that doesn't look so, I guess, the word I'm hunting for is penitentiary-like, okay? So just a front fence that may be friendlier to the neighborhood. So that may be a compromise that you go to.
So I guess even though it's been a car lot for 30 years, it doesn't matter now.
This is a new ordinance that was made for car lots, and anything new, anything existing could remain there, but anything new that has not been in operation and you're wanting to start a new operation, these would come into effect for that.
I think you're just continuing an operation, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's not starting a new one.
There was not a business license. There was never a conditional use approved for the property for auto sales, and there was not a business license within the last 12 months, so it had lost its nonconformity.
Right. Okay. Any other comments from the commissioners? Anyone in the audience on the application? Please call the roll.
Banks?
Yes.
Chambers?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Pierce?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
And Chairman Clifton?
Yes, your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to do next.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one question.
Mr. White?
Since we approved it, he doesn't have to get an alderman, does he?
Yes.
He still has to get an alderman? Okay.
And if an alderman
He'll
will
have
not,
to take it before the council
Yeah, I
to
knew the
prepare
alderman, but I didn't know he had to get an alderman.
for the ordinance.
Ms.
Mr.
Donna,
White,
can you
if
help
he-
us
if
on
he-
that?
If neither
Can I
one
call
of his
him?
aldermen
Okay.
want to sponsor it,
All right, thank you. Bye.
the mayor will sponsor it, just out
For
of due process.
consideration. Okay, number 7. Rezone from R3 to R4 to recognize existing residential units on a single lot at 4601 Pike Avenue, Old Rock. Is the owner here? Give us your name for the record, please.
Edward Harwell.
Yes, sir. And have you been before the site plan review committee with this?
No, sir, not on a rezoning.
Okay. Briefly tell us what you're wanting to do.
Well, the unit has been on the lot for 80 years, and I haven't had it rented. It's a garage apartment, and it's sitting on right at over a half acre. And I'm just want to reestablish electricity. And I've already got it updated and approved, but I need an address, is what I understand.
Okay. Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application, please call the roll.
Banks?
Yes.
Chambers?
Yes.
Phillips? Yes. Pierce?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
And Chairman Clifton?
Yes, your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to do next. Thank you. Item number 8, 2023-22, to rezone from conservation to a C3 at the southwest corner of I-440 and North Hills Boulevard. I-440. Is the applicant here? Yes. Give us your name for that.
Nathan Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, this is on a rezone. Has there been any opposition on this?
No, sir, several phone calls with just interest, but no one has said that they were opposed to it.
Okay. And what is your intended use for this, to be from conservation to a C3?
Well, we hope to develop it at some point for educational purposes. Church.
Okay, Mr. White?
I live in Lakewood, so I've gotten some calls on this. So the rumor is it's gonna be for refugees, to house refugees. Is there any truth to that? Because it's out there.
I haven't heard that, no.
It's for the school that y'all talked about years ago. Okay, thank you. You've heard it now?
No, yeah, I'd never heard it. That's a new one.
Any other comments from anyone in the audience? Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application, please call the roll.
Banks?
Yes.
Chambers?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Pierce?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
And Chairman Clifton?
I abstain. And with 5 it takes to pass, it did pass. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to do next. Thank you. Please let the record note that I abstained from any voting and participation in this. Number 9, rezone case number R4 to a C6 at 800 North Olive Street. Yes, go ahead and give us your name for the,
Thomas Pownell with Thomas Engineering, representing the owner.
okay? Has there been any opposition to this
No, sir.
application? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Are there any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application as presented, please call the roll.
Yes.
Chambers,
Yes.
Phillips. Pierce,
Yes.
White, and Chairman Clifton.
Yes, your application was approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 10, rezone case number 2023-24, a rezoning from R4 to C6 at 720 North Olive Street. The applicant,
Yes, sir. Chairman Clifton, Thomas Pownell with Thomas Engineering.
okay. Has there been any calls or anything on this application?
No, sir.
Anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? All in favor, or please call the roll.
Banks,
Yes.
Chambers,
Yes.
Phillips. Yes. Pierce,
Yes.
White, and Chairman Clifton.
Yes, your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you where to go next. Mr. Chambers?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Design Review Committee met and considered item 11, SD 2023-61, Division 49 add addition, lots 1 through 5 combined. It's a combined preliminary and final plat located at the 4900 block of Division Street. It involves hillside modifications. The applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 12 in subsections, and the Design Review Committee recommends approval.
Is the applicant present? Give us your name, please, for the record.
Nick Tucker.
Okay, Mr. Tucker, you have any comments you'd like to make?
No.
Okay. Any comments from anyone in the audience on this application? Any commissioners? On the application as presented, all in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Number 12, rezone case number 23-25, the Jimmy Doyle Country Club addition lot 1 from C4 to I2 to allow a truck repair facility at 11,800 Maybelline Road. Is the applicant here?
Yes, sir. Chairman Clifton, Thomas Pownell with Thomas Engineering.
Okay. Have you had any calls on this application?
We did receive a call and an email that indicated that they were opposed to the rezoning request, concerned with additional traffic that would potentially spill over to adjacent property.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Are there any comments from any of the commissioners? Mr. Chambers?
Just a question of Mr. Pownell, which is the trucks they're repairing are the 18-wheelers?
Yes, as well as like dump trucks, 18-wheelers, dump trucks, things like that, larger vehicles.
Heavier vehicles?
Heavy
not-
vehicles.
Not pickup trucks and light-duty delivery?
No.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? On the application as presented, please call the roll.
Banks,
Yes.
Chambers,
Yes.
Phillips. Yes. Pierce,
Yes.
White. Yes. And Chairman Clifton.
Yes, your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chambers?
Item 13 is SD 2023-64, Jimmy Doyle Country Club addition, Lot 1, replat and site plan review at 11,800 Maybelline Road. Applicant was present and agreed to items 1 through 15 and subsections, and the Design Review Committee recommends approval.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from the applicant? Any
sir.
comments from any of the commissioners? On the application, all in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 14, special use case 23-27, a special use to allow the continuation of a type 2 short-term rental in an R1 zone at 3818 North Magnolia. Is the applicant here? Give us your name for the record, please.
Melissa Kidder.
Okay. Is this one that has been existing that is getting in compliance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, has there been any calls, anything on this?
No, sir.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? Call the roll, please, on the application as submitted.
Banks,
Yes.
Chambers,
Yes.
Phillips. Yes. Pierce,
Yes.
White. Yes. And Chairman Clifton.
Yes, your application was approved. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to do next.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Is there any public comment from anyone?
I believe that is the fastest we have gone through 14 items in
I do
recent
believe
history.
it is. I do believe it is.
There weren't any questions.
Motion made by Mr. Phillips that we adjourn. Second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Well, it was